If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to more iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, where tonight the stars and cars of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship will wrap up the 2022 Season 4 with a visit to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Mosport. I'm so excited to be up here in Bowmanville, Canada. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you hanging out with us. Joined in the booth by James Watson and a guy we have not heard from in months. He's been like educating himself and stuff. Sebastian Kinder. Boys, what's going on? James, so much to talk about here tonight as we're already rolling into qualifying.
Yeah, we got the long-awaited finale, man. We got a interesting points battle. You know, Chris is going to need a bit of a Herculean effort here to try to snag the championship away. It might happen with the fact that we split, and this might be a pretty high SOF, so there's still a lot to play for tonight.
216 points is the total that Chris Preston needs. Ted Burns got just that number for winning at Spa earlier this season. 37.87 was the strength of field on that race. Tonight, 36.19. It's close. We could have a championship decided here tonight. It could be already decided. David Porcelli holding that lead right now by 87 points. You factor in the drop weeks and you need an extra point to take the championship outright, all that kind of stuff. David Porcelli needs 216 points out of this race tonight. Or excuse me, Chris Preston needs 216 out of this race tonight. This is going to be exciting. And Seb, we'll come to you for this one. Mosport is kind of an old school driver's track. It's a little bit narrow. It's tough to pass. It really is a great place to close out the season.
Indeed, or as would someone say, oh, absolutely. I'm glad to be back there for these PMETs. Usually on this track, it's always a win-win. Tough to pass. We just saw a big stretch, and it's going to be a draft central there, so it's going to be very interesting. Lots of technicality, some setup work. This is all I love in my PM18s.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun. Lap times are already starting to come in here. Chris Preston is going to be your quickest at a 1 minute 12.854. Taking a look at the track record, Graham Sanders, 1 minute 12.219. They're about 0.6 of a second off, but James, that works out to 122 miles an hour for the average here at Mosport. You're flying around this place.
Yeah, that's what makes this track great, is that outside of here at Moss, you're not really having to get on the binders a lot. You're pretty much just driving with the seat of your pants, especially through turns 1 through 3. Like, they are fast corners, and there's a lot of undulation, so if you mess up, it's going to end poorly.
Yeah, you're definitely talking about possibly being in trouble here. We've got Chris Preston on the left-hand side of your screen. The right-hand or lower right box is going to have Everett Paddock. Chris Preston coming around to finish his second lap, and it will be a little bit quicker, but not as good as Everett Paddock. 1 minute 12.559. Pick up Ted Burns off the final corner, see what he can do to complete his lap, as we also get a hold of Nagisa Yoshikawa. Teddy B going to be third quick, 1 minute 12.989 seconds. Nicholas Daly hops himself up to position number 2. Trouble on the racetrack for Kylo Ciacelli. He is going to lose lap number 2. Now on the upper left-hand side of your screen, we have Dylan Vilashinsky. He's leading the points in Division 3, but only by 36 over Brian Karszewski. Karszewski not in this split. I'm not going to say in the race because he could be a bottom split car. And James, that's one of the things when you only get 25, 26, 28 cars, you're going to have, I think tonight we have 27, a 14 and a 13 split. It's tough when you're that guy who sits right in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Oh, Yosh in the
that
wall.
Was Yoshikawa going off, but that was the end of his qualifying lap. So no trouble to this point for Nagisa Yoshikawa.
Don't scare us like that, Nagisa.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Qualifying is over. Time for us to get ready to go racing. My goodness, that was absolutely intense. We're going to get everybody starting to line up out here on the grid. We'll run you through some of the playoff scenarios, championship scenarios. The best battle here tonight is probably from 3rd to 7th. From Everett Paddock to Carl Lemkool in 7th, it's only 92 points. Kylo Ciacelli, 30 back of Paddock. Nicholas Daly, only 2 back of Ciacelli. Nagisa Yoshikawa, 18 back of Daly and 50 back of Paddock. So we could have a lot of movement coming up here over the course of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. This isn't exactly the easiest place to pass. There are some good overtaking opportunities, but you really just got to send it. You know, Moss is great, but it's terrifying because you feel the rear of the car start to pull away from you heading into it.
We mentioned David Porcelli is not here tonight. He's doing some real-world racing down at the Circuit of the Americas, driving a Scion FRS in the Enduros down there. Interestingly, Team Austin Dillon Racing was there with Kyle Busch as one of their drivers for the weekend. So it sounds like Austin Dillon and KB going to be doing some driving against David Porcelli this weekend, which is just kind of wild to think about. But let's get to this.
That is awesome.
That's pretty fantastic, isn't it? Let's get you the starting grid for this one. Is everybody, I think, yep, everybody's out on the grid. They're going to take off for the formation lap. Everett Paddock and Nicholas Daly will occupy row number 1 here this evening. They will be alongside of Chris Preston and Nagisa Yoshikawa. Ted Burge, Jay Dixon on row number 3. Russ Addy, Carl Lemkool on row number 4. Kylo Ciacelli, Stephen C. Thompson on row 5. Row 6 going to have Brian Labarge and Mike Holler. And the 7th and final row here this evening will have Benjamin Bachman and Dylan Vilashinsky. Seb, only 1.3 seconds separating first from last in the field here tonight. Tells me everybody's going to be pretty tight, and quite frankly, there's a whole lot that we could see happen here over the course of the next hour or so.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you see those very tight corners, like if they're so tight, I'm thinking like turn 3 and the turn where you're coming to, that's going to be very interesting to watch. Also, another corner that I feel like will be interesting, it will be the U section will be coming up after this turn. I feel like this is maybe an overtaking hotspot. I mean, I have barely raced Mosport, maybe once in NASCAR trucks or NASCAR video games, but oh, so tight on such a track. Love it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun one to watch here this evening. A little bit of a connection issue there for Everett Paddock. We've seen that over the course of the season. Every once in a while, he kind of blinks in and out, but that's really about it. Take a look.
At least it's not me.
Yeah, right.
Field making their way down towards the green flag. 24 laps, no pit stops, no backup cars, no nothing. This one's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this race here at Mosport. They carry so much speed through this section of the racetrack, James. A little bit Spa-esque in that you're able to utilize the draft.
Yeah, but it's really only down the Andretti straight. Then you're going to be like having to deal with all the cars around you going through the rest of the circuit.
Yeah, especially here. You start to get a little bit twistier, and then you're going to make this final right-hand turn. And as always, race fans, the start of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship going to be all yours. Everybody cleanly through the first couple of quarters. Everett Paddock jumping out to the race lead. Nicholas Daly, Chris Preston, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Ted Burge, your top 5. Preston already going on the attack. He needs to be up in front. Nice pass there by Preston.
I love it. I love it. Lick the stamp and send it.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
Seb going full Danny Rick. Australian quotes in a French accent. That's a way to start things.
The last of the late breakers.
Well, you gotta have the Seb experience right there.
This place, they've only run once with the current configuration of race cars. We saw Ted Burns having a peek there on Nagisa Yoshikawa. Last season, Porcelli getting the win over Preston, Graham Sanders, Richard Holt, and Nagisa Yoshikawa. For the week entering here, Preston had 3 starts, 2 poles, 2 top 5s, but crucially, no wins to this point in the season here for Chris Preston. He's going to have to get it done here this week if he wants this championship.
Wow, and he's because I haven't followed the championship at all. So he's in talk even without a win. That tells me how consistent he was.
So we'll get the leaders in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We'll follow the battles along here on the bigger box here up on the left-hand side. Take a look, see who else we may have really tight in the field. Everybody's kind of sitting about a third of a second to a quarter of a second apart here. Seeing Russ Addy going to work on Jay Dixon. This one is a little bit deeper.
This gives me COT at Super Speedway vibes, like the old 2x2 like that.
Side by side for the race lead. Preston looking to the outside. Oh, what a gutsy pass on Everett Paddock.
Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's some.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Getting after it in a big way. Man, Nagisa Yoshikawa getting a little squirrely there as well. Preston now checking out. He is doing what he needs to do to claim the championship. The question is he going to get enough from this? That's the big one that we're going to have to look at. We'd even have to look at the race results once the show is finished here, but it's going to be tight. Oh, big lockup! Oh, we got big trouble!
Oh, this is going. Oh.
Uncharacteristic there from Everett Paddock.
Chris is looking in his mirror and smiling the biggest smile.
Yeah. This all profits him.
Other than the fact that he's got 10 birds.
Oh my lord.
3 wide, not the brightest thing you could possibly do. Seeing Carl Lemkool up in the middle of this battle. Division 2 points are also on offer here. Kylo Ciacelli having an off track. He is last in the running right now, and he only leads Carl Lemkool by 62 points in Division 2. Lemkool running 4th, Ciacelli 14th. We could see the championship swap there.
Oh yeah, he must have made a mistake or a spin because he's 24 seconds behind Thompson.
May have actually been everybody involved in that one together. Let's take a look here and pull up the cameras, and we'll get you the instant replay on this one. Take a look, see what happened to Kylo Ciacelli. He was already way back. Oh man, big off track there.
He held on to her pretty good.
Yes, he did. So now this is following along here with Russ Addy. Let's get you back to the head of the line. Pick up race leader Chris Preston. Everybody is pretty well squared away here by this point. Take a look, Brian Labarge also having an issue. That's going to be Labarge in the NASA colors. A little bit almost a hip check there. Maybe some right side romance from Labarge. Left side loving from Mike Holler. Clips the curb. No harm, no foul.
That is a weird spin.
Now seeing trouble for Mike Holler. Holler entering pit lane. I wonder if there wasn't contact there. Let's take a look at the Labarge issue one more time here. See if we can see the contact with Mike Holler. Oh yeah, that was a pretty big hit.
That may have been a bit too over aggressive. Wow,
It's like the left wheel. The left wheel got hooked on the curb, and as he went to turn, it just ripped the rear right out from under him because it was hung
That's
up.
a dive bomb.
Yeah, Carl Lemkool going after Everett Paddock here. Nicholas Daly's going to be right there as well.
Sorry, James, I cut you out there.
Oh, you're good.
Let's
like
go.
I was saying anything of importance anyway.
Go on board with Nicholas Daly.
Interesting then.
Daly's that third car in line just behind Paddock and Lemkool, as Daly set a new fastest lap of the race last time by to 1 minute 13.08.
He's doing exactly what the third car needs to do. Just follow the two guys in front of you, and if an opportunity presents itself, take it and you can pass and you can be on the offensive. Oh, nice helmet there.
Ka-chow.
Ciao.
It's awesome. I'm broadcasting with a couple of 4-year-olds in the booth tonight.
You're just now realizing that? How long have you known us?
It's not like we broadcast a full PM18 season together.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could handle that. Lemcool and Paddock, by the way, finishing up their battle. Carl Lemcool able to come across. Nick Camargo checking in a couple of minutes ago here saying, impressed everyone survived. Yeah, there's been a bit of that going on already here. And actually, this is now a 4-car battle for position. Lemcool, Paddock, Daly, toss Nagisa Yoshikawa into the mix, as well as Chris Preston goes fastest lap of the race. First car in the 12s for the event, 1 minute 12.982.
Yeah, it was really...
Go ahead, Seb.
Yeah, I was just going to say for the first time, like, they all went single file pretty quickly, so that explains how they all survived.
Yeah, able to be a little bit smart, and quite frankly, with some of the championship battles, we've discussed what's going on for the overall championship, which is also the Division 1 championship. We start talking about this stuff. Lemcool and Paddock go back to battling side by side.
They almost went through, by the way.
They said to heck with your championship implications.
Yes, apparently I can't go full Rick Allen here. Division 1, Kylo Ciacelli is actually not involved in that battle. So he's 4th in the overall points, but he's not in contention in Division 1. Porcelli leading Preston, Paddock, Daly, and Yoshikawa. The only question there is, can Chris Preston do enough tonight to pass David Porcelli? Division 2, Kylo Ciacelli leading Carl Lemcool. Ciacelli a little bit on the charge here. We'll pick him up. Let's see. We'll get him up here in the small box. He is trying to charge back through the field, but only up to the 12th position. He's got a lot of work to go here if he wants to try to get himself back up and ahead of Carl Lemcool. I would think 62 points is potentially doable here tonight, James.
Yeah, it just depends on Carl's previous results with this week. If this is his first one, then yeah, he has a good chance of passing him depending on what the drop week is, although not if he keeps doing that.
Drop the wheel off and hope for the best here. Let's see. I have to say a huge thank you to Kylo Ciacelli putting together a points tracking spreadsheet that lets us at least sort of keep an eye on things here. Carl Lemcool would drop a 97 off of his board tonight, so it's actually like 130 that he needs to pick up. Nice pass there by Everett Paddock.
I'm loving those around the outside passes here.
Seriously, ballsy.
In Division 3, Dylan Vilashinsky leading Brian Karshevsky by 36 points. That lead should be safe. Vilashinsky is in 10th here in the top split. Not sure if Karshevsky's going to be in split number 2 or not. Man, that's so tight through there.
Oh, that's...
Oh, hold on! Oh, and there's contact! Lemcool and Paddock make huge contact!
Championship implications!
Carl Lemcool trying to get down pit lane. That car will need repair work. Everett Paddock takes the tow.
Aggressive around goes Lemcool, since we're going full Rick Allen right now.
Man, I'll tell you what. Here's another look at it. Just a little bit loose on the corner exit. Man, that was a big hit for Paddock.
Nowhere to go.
Angry Mike knows.
Cam.
I like to see one of the onboards. Ooh.
He did the same thing that Brian did. Caught the entry curbing with the left rear.
Yep.
It's not time to be deja vuing.
Right.
This is Nicholas Daly, Nagisa Yoshikawa, and Russ Addy. Addy and Paddock are teammates out of the TNT stable. So don't get confused with the paint jobs on the cars here, boys. More side-by-side racing. Did they just see that don't work through there?
Well, then make it work there.
Oh, so good.
Crossover. Oh, just like Blaney a couple years ago. Epic move.
What?
All right, let's
Didn't
get
we
you
say
the
it was octopus
replay here of the Lemcool and Paddock incident from the overhead. Yeah, Lemcool just overcooked it a little bit, and
yeah, it just kicked out on him just enough and ever had nowhere to go.
That is unfortunate, sadly.
all right, let's bring up your race leader here in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Chris Preston is doing everything he needs to do tonight. The gap is 2.9 seconds over Ted Burns. The 5-lap average, Preston is faster than Ted Burns at this point. Everett Paddock, by the way, set the fastest lap of the race the lap before that incident. 1 minute 12.858. One lap, your hero. 1 lap, you're now last. 14th position. That helps Kylo Ciacelli. That's going to put Kylo up to the 10th position. That's what I love about this Indy Pro 2000 championship, James. There's 4 divisions worth of championships that are currently in play, and everything that happens, even with the leaders at the front of the field, has those championship implications for the other guys deeper in the field.
And that's what's great, is because no matter who you are or where you're at, you have an opportunity to fight for some sort of championship. You know, you're not discouraged because you can't keep up with the aliens. You can still bring home a championship of your own and be damn proud of it, because it's a big accomplishment to bring home any sort of division title.
Yeah. It's a legit championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, one guy has already claimed a championship here tonight. That's Ben Carswell. He's not even in the race here this evening. 18th in the overall point standings, but he will be your Division 5 champion, leading by 300-plus points entering the night. Congratulations to our IndyCar writer and pizza at the Pagoda comrade, Ben Carswell. Shadow Jesus picking up the Season 4 championship in Division 5. Haven't talked yet about Division 4. Nee Camargo leading Michael Long by 63 points. Nee is not in the race. He's in the comments section. Mike Long is not in this race, so we can't give you any updates on that one. One of these nights, guys, we're going to have to do like a full multi-split coverage here.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
James
You
is
thought
breaking out
one
into hives.
You thought one dumpster fire from us was something to behold. I'm now imagining 3 at once.
Real one. Welcome to the PMH Essential, buddy.
We had discussed doing a broadcast of like 4 or 5 splits at once of the Indy 500 on iRacing. Maybe we should do like, oh man, could we do a Rolex 24 show?
That's something to study, though. I think, James, aren't we running the Rolex 24, though? I mean,
That just sounds
Yeah,
like a
you-
terrible idea.
Well, we're going to be okay. We can hold our own in the mid-split, just putting around.
No, I mean doing a broadcast.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh.
A 24-hour top split broadcast? That would be ridiculous. By the way, we're following Nicholas Daly and Russ Addy. This is the only fight on the racetrack right now. Everybody else is separated by at least a second. Nagisa Yoshikawa closing the gap in a little bit. But we figure we'll have the race leader up on the screen. Oh, we can get rid of him. He's kind of running by himself. We'll get you the full screen view here on Nick Daly and Russ Addy.
oh, no, maybe? Come on.
You know what? It's just that I don't know that that's the spot to try it, but everybody that said this was going to be tight and no passing, they can all just shut themselves up. Oh, we've got more championship implications. Dylan Vilashinsky having an issue. He was running all by his lonesome.
Oh, it's the... No?
Little bit of curb, little bit of loop-de-loop.
Saved it! Saved!
Ooh,
That,
almost backed up into traffic, but...
This is what you said the umpire gave. He just went, save!
Oh, seeing that some trouble there for Stephen C. Thompson. We're just seeing that in the text chat as well. But down to 10 laps to go. The gap sitting about 2.9 seconds between Chris Preston and Ted Burns. The gap 2.9 seconds. Actually, hold on. Let me correct myself here. The gap from Chris Preston to Ted Burns is 4.2 seconds. And then it's another 2.8 seconds between Ted Burns and Nicholas Daly. This fight is pretty good here still, sitting right about a half second apart or so.
This is where you're the car following. You gotta bide your time. Just follow your... But I mean, just firstly get closer to him because he's losing ground. But get closer. Study where he's stronger, where he's weaker, and when the opportunity shows up, you gotta go for it. But
and James, we're about a little past the halfway point here in this one. Future of these broadcasts is a little bit up in the air. Oh, trouble for Russ Addy, actually. He backed up a ton. Now he's going to be fighting with Nagisa Yoshikawa. But, James, the future of these broadcasts is a little bit up in the air right now, heading into the Week 13 break. We may be back for next season. This could be our final show. The Indy Pro 2000 Championship has been fantastic. We're seeing it here tonight. Great racing throughout the field. A show everywhere you look. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with you on these the last couple of years because this is absolutely fantastic. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the pairing of Indy Pro 2000 and USF 2000 running a common schedule on the alternate hours. Could be a good thing for participation in the long run.
yeah, I hope it is, and I hope we're back. Like, this is an absolute blast. Like, I'm gonna miss it if we're not coming back. Like it's gonna be like a hole in my heart. Like, I've just always made so many changes to my schedule just to make sure I can be here and be a part of it. So I hope we're back. I'm not ready to give this up yet.
I have some very fond memories of that.
I'll tell you what.
This.
Some of the screaming Watt spin noises, the angry French noises that we've had on these shows, they've been a lot of fun. We'll see what and quite frankly, it's really up to the community. If you guys want us back, there's the post on the iRacing forums. I believe there's also one on Reddit. Take a look at those and help support them if you want us to see the broadcast continue. But there's already some discussions of some other things that may be coming into play, possibly coming back. We'll see. Looking forward to what we have coming here. Dylan Vilashinsky, by the way, in the last couple of minutes, having a couple of very short off tracks. Kylo Ciacelli able to get around him, so put Ciacelli up into the 9th position. The gap to the race leader, 4.69 seconds, and ever so slightly shrinking, but not enough that it's going to make a difference here with 7 laps to go.
This is a fun little battle these two have got going on.
Yeah, you know what? Nagisa doing a nice job, kind of like you talked about, Seb. You just got to kind of sit there, get in line, and stay there. They're closing the gap in on Nicholas Daly, and if you're Nagisa, that's kind of what you want to do. You don't necessarily need to get past Rosati if it's going to cost you time to Daly. Just hang out for a couple of laps, see what you can do, and if you're not making up any time, then it's time to get around them.
Yep, exactly. Racing 101.
I don't know that I would go that far, but let's go on board here with Nagisa Yoshikawa as he is trying to chase down Rosati. I like the gyro cam here, that it gives you a little sense of the elevation changes here at Mosport. That's one of the really challenging things about this place, is not only is it bad fast, but it's uphill, downhill, side hill, off camber, on camber. There's a little bit of everything here.
And this is what makes a racetrack, looking at you to look at drones.
And all the street courses, the generic street courses.
I can't totally hammer Tilke because he has to play the game that the FIA gives him. The FIA gives him a rule book.
Yeah.
When they say you have to have 1.5 miles of runoff at every corner, okay. You're given a plot of land and a rule book, and you're kind of stuck with what you have. I'm interested to see what the show looks like on the Las Vegas Strip. It's board flat, but the visuals are going to be epic. By the same token, the Chicago street circuit does absolutely nothing for me. There's the little fountain section that's kind of cool, and outside of that, a bunch of 90-degree corners, short blasts. It does not feel like a place that's going to be conducive to great stock car racing.
It will when someone ends up in the barriers.
Oh dear me, that's going to be a slugfest.
And all the punches are going to be laid by the wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh, trouble for Ted Burns!
Oh, Sven!
Big
What?
trouble for Ted Burns! Get you that one on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Down into turn number 1. Just the slightest bit off track.
Ooh.
Oh, noses it into the wall. Evasive driving by everybody around them, but man alive, Teddy B.
And good reflexes from Teddy. He held the brakes and he didn't move until the two guys went by him.
Wow, so this battle's for a podium now.
Yeah, this fight is a podium fight. As Ted Burns is back on the racetrack, doesn't look like there's too much damage on the race car. Now all of a sudden, if you're Nagisa Yoshikawa, it's go time. 4 to go. I've got a shot at the podium. This could be a little bit wild. James, does how much downforce you're running really come into play on this one?
I believe so. I feel like the downforce is going to help you a lot in the first half of the course. Like, you only really have the one major straightaway. You have a lot more tough corners, tough off-camber corners where you're going to need that grip.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a bobble there for Nagisa Yoshikawa. Saw the back end ticking out just a little bit on him. The gap right now sitting at about a half second in this battle for the third position.
Meanwhile, Preston is just driving with his elbow on the window.
Yeah, yes, race leader Chris Preston is having himself a cruise here.
Oh.
Yoshikawa
Here
around the outside.
Oh!
He's still there.
Wow,
Oh,
what a
got
fight
thrown
through those
over
final
again.
corners.
Oh, man.
He he was pretty far at the beginning of the straight. Like, the drive must be powerful. He has faster straight line speed, or both.
2 to go here at Mosport. We have your race leader in the bottom right-hand corner, Chris Preston, walking away with this one. 8 seconds. The gap to Nicholas Daly. It's another 2 and change, almost 3, to Russ Addy and Nagisa Yoshikawa.
Okay, so will it try again? I think that's the same distance as they were earlier. So... Oh, no snaking.
Yeah, that's a little bit interesting. Not trying to break the draft in any way. It's going to give Yosh the big run.
Oh, he...
Makes the peak up to the inside. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I want to make that move there as Chris Preston takes the white flag. Final lap of the season for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Can Nagisa Yoshikawa get the big toe? He's closer than he's been over the last couple of laps.
Yeah, he needs to be very close in order to make that pass around the outside work. Oh yeah, I think he's got him.
Yeah,
he's got him. If he
he's gonna be there. Tucks back in. Now he pulls out. Dip, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. If you're Nagisa Yoshikawa, off of the final corner, Chris Preston will see the twin checkers and claim the win at Mosport. He's going to be jacked up. Was it enough to win a chair? Oh, there's contact! Yoshikawa, Russ Addy to the checkered flag. Who's it going to be? Russ Addy by a car length.
What a fight.
Fantastic race to the finish. There is your race winner, Chris Preston. Was it enough to claim a championship?
The $1 million question.
Man, absolutely great battle between Russ Addy and Nagisa Yoshikawa as well. Contact out of the final corner. Ultimately, Yoshikawa coming up just short by about a car length or so. Chris Preston hustling around on the victory lap here.
And there's the donuts. You know what I like about that final lap between Nagisa and Addy is the fact is they collided but they didn't wreck, and that's a testament to the skills.
Yeah, you can beat and bang these cars a little bit, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the race results. Chris Preston, the winner by 7.788 seconds over Nicholas Daly. Russ Addy clearing Nagisa Yoshikawa by about a tenth at the line. Fantastic finish there. Addy claiming the final spot on the podium. Yoshikawa and Jay Dixon complete your top 5. Ted Burns, Brian Labarge, Benjamin Bachman, Kylo Ciacelli, and Dylan Vilashinsky are your top 10 here this evening. Mike Holler, the final car on the lead lap at the finish. Carl Lemkool, Stephen C. Thompson, Everett Paddock, all having issues at various points in the race. Oh, man. Boys, we can breathe again. At least barely here late in this one. Absolutely fantastic racing here.
It was unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Action packed.
That was a lot of fun. I've missed this. I've really missed this.
My goodness. I think the numbers have updated. The difference is 10. David Porcelli, I think, iRacing is still being a little bit screwy with how I'm seeing some numbers here, but David Porcelli looks like he will be your 2022 Season 4 champion by 10 over Chris Preston.
Wow.
12 weeks of racing comes down to 10 points, which in the world of iRacing math is basically nothing. When you factor in the strength of fields and how all these different things get calculated, 10 points is a position somewhere over the course of the season, basically.
That's honestly not even a position. That's just a separate SOF. Like it is unbelievably close. Wow.
Yeah, the numbers as we're seeing them right now, 1396 for David Porcelli, 1386 for Chris Preston. Let's get ready for the Victory Lane interviews here, and we will kick things off with our race winner, Chris Preston. My goodness, man, a fantastic drive from you tonight. Talk us through kind of what you were seeing, and once you're able to get to the lead, it was just a matter of cruise from there.
Yeah, I don't really know where that one came from. I mean, I told you last week I absolutely love this track. It's my home track, and I was really quick here last season. I didn't have the best qualifying lap, but I was close enough to the front that I knew I could make things happen. I finally got in my Moss corner pass. I've been waiting 2 seasons for that because I don't know. I just seemingly am able to outbrake people into that corner. Like at the beginning of the race, it was where I was finding my 10th on Ted every lap. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a good run. Unfortunately, it's not enough for the championship, but hey, I did all I could do.
Well, I was going to say, the math we're seeing right now is 10, separating you from David Porcelli. We were just discussing it with James and Seb here in the booth. That's not even a position. That is a slightly stronger SOF or a slightly weaker SOF in any of these 12 weeks, and that's the difference in a championship. I don't know that you could ask for much more out of yourself other than to be right there with a shot at the end of the season.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season I would be contending for the championship and ending P2, I wouldn't believe you, so I'll take it. And the other thing I was just telling Kylo that I have to remember, if it was closer than this, I feel like David would have showed up at least last week to potentially pull away a bit. So, the fact that I'm just 10 points behind is a little bit due to that, but still, it's a great result for TWR here, getting 1-2 in the championship.
Yeah, a fantastic season. 8 weeks, 21 starts, 5 wins, 19 top 5s in those 21 starts. Average finish of 3rd. Just absolutely impressive numbers here out of you, Chris. Congratulations on a fantastic season and a great dominant race win tonight. Before we let you go, get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in here. And once again, congratulations.
Of course, I got to thank Team Watson Racing. It was an absolutely fantastic showing from us this season, and hats off to David for winning the championship. Fully deserved. He was the fastest driver out there this season, so congratulations to him. Thank you to Limo Boys Racing and Kylo and the rest of my teammates for supporting me all season long. And of course, I've got to give you guys a huge shout out for the broadcast and how fantastic it's been over the last year to have you guys broadcast these races. And whether you're back or not next season, I don't know, but if not, it was an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you very much. We like getting to chat with you as well. We appreciate it. And man alive, that was absolutely wild finish here. Let's talk to the guy who comes home comes home second in tonight's race. Mr. Nicholas Daly. Man, I'll tell you what, bud, you come off the final corner, I guess it was, or off the turn two, maybe. All of a sudden, Ted Burns is sideways in front of you. The guy you were chasing becomes the target you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, man, I was not expecting that. I was slowly chipping away at it, gaining a tenth of a second, roughly every lap on Ted. But yeah, so kind of a lucky race for me.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. All in all, you had a fantastic season as well. I think, and again, this is just guessing here, looks like you're going to finish fourth or fifth in the overall standings here. I'm seeing some screwy numbers with Kylo at the moment. So all in all, a great season for you. I don't know that you could ask for a whole lot more than that out of your run here in 2022 Season 4.
Yeah, definitely a great way to end it. And second place in the strength of field race is my best finish ever, and then third place overall in the championship is pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty great.
All right, bud. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, huge shout out to Downforce Racing and Ted for working on the setup. I didn't really have much time to practice or do any of that work, so really appreciate it. And then thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast every week.
All right, bud. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And man alive, a great show. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have Russ Addy to talk to here tonight. But with the one more thing we have to update, and that is our final championship point standings for the broadcast series. I am doing very quick math here, at least as quickly as my silly figures will let me do them. Because I think we pretty well knew that the champion was going to be David Porcelli entering into tonight's race. Let's see here, get everything sorted up and squared away. We can give you the final results on that one as well. Let's see. Was trying to do this as quickly as I can, but there we go. All right.
In the force.
Yes, I'm working on it here. Your champion in the broadcast series by 5 points, David Porcelli over Chris Preston. A tie for third, Kylo Ciacelli and Ted Burns sitting on 36 points apiece. Nicholas Daly with that podium tonight bumped himself up to 5th in the broadcast standings. Man alive, great championship there as well. Congratulations to David Porcelli. He's not able to talk to us because he's driving real-world race cars at the moment. Oh, look at this. We've got Kylo Ciacelli in the booth here with us as well. Kylo, talk us through a little bit here how your night went, a little bit of an issue there, and, man, just crazy stuff tonight.
So my race was my own doing. I was too aggressive lap 1, hit the back of Jay in the final couple of corners and broke my front wing. So that was my competitive night done. By some sort of miracle, the guys that needed to not finish didn't finish for me. So I still get a championship out of it, which is pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely. Kylo picking up the championship here in Division 2 by 62 points over Carl Lemkuhl. Carl was in position to try to steal that title away from you, ultimately this becoming a drop week for him as well. But, man, I'll tell you what, the overall battle in the top 10 is only like 110 points or 115 points from 4th place Everett Paddock, actually even 3rd place Nicholas Daly, all the way back to Carl Lemkool in 7th. Just crazy how tight this championship battle was.
Yeah, this Indy Pro 2000.5 championship is really something. All these guys are super quick. Every week it's a different guy who's faster. And yeah, congrats to Nick for grabbing up 3rd. And Nagisa got me right at the end there as well. He moved up into the top 5. So my bad night worked out for a teammate, I guess. So that works out for me. And I still kept my championship. But yeah, even that... just this last race, insane. The front runners crashing out like that, just drama everywhere, Chris.
Yeah, there was a whole lot going on here. Let's get ready to close things out here. We'll go back to the scenic views of Mosport, and Seb, will kick things off with you. Were you not entertained here this evening?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Oh, that was. And to that, I respond, yes, that was fun. That was fun. That was pure driving. This is what I love in my PMA teams. I mean, I said what I said. I had to say about PMA teams many times. Just amazing. So I feel like I had to say, we want you to support the broadcasts.
Yeah, let's recap the championship standings here across the top 5 divisions anyway, before we turn to James to close things out. David Porcelli is your overall champion in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, also claiming the Division 1 title over Chris Preston. Looks like Kylo Ciacelli able to hold on for the Division 2 championship. Dylan Vilashinsky holding on in Division 3. Division 4 going to Nick Camargo. Ben Carswell claiming the championship in Division 5. Congrats to all of our champions here this evening. And James, I don't want to say this is feeling a little bit bittersweet, because I don't know if this is our last broadcast for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. We could be back in 2 weeks when 2023 Season 1 kicks off. I can't believe we're talking about 23 already. But if we're done, man, I have to say, I work with quite a few people. You are one of my favorite people I get to chat with. I enjoy our time together on Thursday nights calling these races. This has been an absolute blast. It is an honor and a pleasure to call you a friend, not just a coworker. Thank you much, buddy. I truly appreciate it.
To heck with friend, I always considered you like an uncle, like the crotchety uncle that I've never really had. So this is hopefully this love fest isn't necessary. And we are back in 2 weeks.
The creepy uncle. Oh, God, I've never actually been called the creepy uncle to my face before. Oh, that's
You're
awesome.
not the creepy uncle. You're the crotchety uncle. You're crotchety, not creepy. You're the grumpy uncle that everyone unloves.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. Well, that's it. It's time for us to wrap things up here. We're really interested to see what's going to come out of the Indy Pro 2000 and USF 2000 merger that's going to be coming up here. Again, these are community-supported broadcasts. We want to be back for 2023 Season 1. It's really up to the community to decide if that's going to happen. We do our best to help out with securing a little bit of sponsorship dollars here and there to keep covering those costs. But ultimately, this is truly a community-driven series, and the Indy Pro 2000 community is one of the best on iRacing. Very little of the toxicity that we see in other leagues and other series. We really want to be back here. We are putting some thoughts together on some different things we may do heading into the new year as well. Maybe some old friends will return to the NRN airwaves. We'll see. But with that, it is time for us to get the heck on out of here. It has been truly a pleasure to get to hang out with you all on Thursday nights for these strength of field races. Who knows? Maybe we'll be coming back for double headers with USF 2000 and Indy Pro 2000. Who knows? But we're looking forward to it. On behalf of Sebastian Kinder, Kylo Ciacelli, James Watson, and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen. My name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes over this last year. Hopefully we get to do it again in the new year. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Have a great night, everybody.